So why is it that when you think about corporate trainings that you immediately think boring, stupid, not worth my time? It's because most of them actually are terrible. And in today's video, we're going to talk about why they're terrible, but also what you can do to fix it. So here's the thing. A lot of these trainings are built for information, not engagement, where any other type of content that you're consuming in your life, let's say Netflix or YouTube as an example, are built for engagement first while building in the information that's necessary. So in this video, I partnered with iSpring Suite to talk about how can you make your corporate trainings more engaging, more exciting, more relevant for the people that you're building your trainings for. So first, what is iSpring Suite? It is, if you think of it as PowerPoint, but on steroids. It's an add-on to PowerPoint that allows you to take your general PowerPoint slides and turn them into something engaging for an e-learning setting. And the best thing is you don't have to understand coding, you don't have to understand design. It does a lot of this for you and just kind of streamlines your e-learning process from start to finish. So the iSpring Suite lets you build in things like quizzes and knowledge checks, video tutorials and screenshots, dialogue simulations for soft skills, and you can publish it all in your LMS without any issues. So there's a couple things that I want to touch on that iSpring does that I think is really cool that allows you to make your content and your trainings more engaging. So when we're talking templates and content libraries, there are thousands of ready-made slides, characters, graphics. So you don't have to start from scratch, even if you're not a designer. And what it means for you if you're building an engaging PowerPoint or engaging presentation is that you don't have to just stick to what Microsoft gives you, which frankly isn't much. And it saves you time by giving you those ready-made templates that you can just click and open and start your presentations right away. So you're starting off on a point of being able to create the narrative and not necessarily have to worry about what slides you're going to be using or what color palette you're going for. The second big feature is Video Studio. So in Video Studio, you can record software tutorials, do picture-in-picture walkthroughs, or create explainer videos, perfect for demos or onboarding. So you could, for example, if you had a training or a product demonstration, you could use iSpring as part of your webinar series and capture that information and turn it into a PowerPoint or turn it into a training. The next thing that every e-learning platform or every training should have is quizzes, built-in engagement to make sure that people are retaining the information that you're teaching them. And these trainings that iSpring have are just beyond multiple choice. You can do drag and drop options, you can do hotspots, you can do sequencing, and it keeps the learners active, not just passive and having to click next slide, next slide, next slide. The next really cool thing that you can use to engage with your learners is branching scenarios. This is actually really cool because if you've been in a lot of trainings, you understand that it's very one-sided. It's very, we give you the information and then you're just kind of expected to regurgitate it at the end. With these branching scenarios, the learners actually make the choice and then the course adapts. If you choose wrong, as an example, you're redirected. If you choose right, as an example, you move forward. So it feels personalized, not one fits all. And it's kind of nice because it kind of gamifies, at least in my opinion, it gamifies what learning is, which is I'm going to try this. If it doesn't work, I'm going to try something else. And if people get the correct answer, then they move forward, allowing you to give them the information or allowing them to absorb or kind of take in the information through trial and error. If they get it right the first time, great. If not, then there's no consequences. They just are rerouted back to a section where they need to re-engage. And the last thing is interactive elements. And this is, again, something that you can't have just at the basic PowerPoint. So things like timelines, FAQs, clickable diagrams, small tweaks that turn passive slides into active learning. It allows the learners to actually have some stake in the game and be able to engage with you and allow you to create a more meaningful experience with the people that you're trying to engage with. Now, I want to specifically talk about leadership as it pertains to e-learning, because this is usually something that is difficult to teach. For the other topics that we talked about, it's a lot easier to just say, did you understand the information I'm giving you? Yes or no? Can you engage with the content? Things like that. When we're talking about leadership, it's a lot more soft skills driven. So it's not something that, there's the theories, there's the frameworks, but if you aren't necessarily being able to practice that information or you're not able to practice those frameworks, you don't understand really how your leadership style works. So one of the things that iSpring Suite does that I think is really cool is dialogue simulators. These dialogue simulators allow the learners, especially for topics that are a little more not as concrete like leadership, it becomes easier for them to learn and practice the soft skills. So you can build role play scenarios where learners are practicing real conversations. So, for example, you can have one about a new manager handling a difficult employee, or you can have another dialogue simulator where a sales rep negotiates with a client, or a leader coaches a struggling team member. So, in this instance, a leader would pick a response, or the learner would pick a response. The system would give them a response back, and they would be getting immediate feedback on how that answer is. So, in the example that we had of someone talking and a manager talking to a difficult employee, they would get that immediate feedback and immediate responses, allowing them to learn and refine how they do their leadership in a safe way without causing any lawsuits or any sort of issues within the company. And because iSpring has a full character library available to you, you can choose different roles, different ages, different characteristics, and you can make it feel real. You can even build your own characters in the system if you want to. So from a standpoint of leadership training, you're making it more of a engaging situation and not just something where you're saying, here's the framework we expect you to use, because every leader is different and every leader needs to be able to refine in a safe space. So I really like the way that iSpring Suite is set up. I like that it's integrated into PowerPoint. Let's talk about some of the pros and cons, if this tool might be right for you, if it might not be right for you. And I will say, I forgot to say this at the beginning, I will link below if you're interested in trying this out. So here's some of the pros. If you are used PowerPoint in the past, if you use PowerPoint a lot, the learning curve is going to be really, really low. They have all-in-one toolkit, so the quizzes, the interactive elements, everything is included as part of it, and you have access to that immediately. It has a huge content library that you're able to pull from and use to make you look more professional. It's mobile friendly by default, and you're able to integrate it into any LMS platform that you currently use. One of the cons, or one of the things that I think is worth noting, is that it is a Windows first platform. So you have to have obviously PowerPoint, but you have to be on Windows in order for iSpring to work. So just want to say, if you're interested in trying out, I think most people have Windows for their work computers, but if you're interested in this platform, it's only Windows specific. So if you're interested in trying out iSpring Suite, I will link to them below. So let me know in the comments, is there anything that you're doing that you've seen with corporate training that you wish was different? And is it something that iSpring can tackle? Let me know in the comments below. And if you are using PowerPoint and you are not sure if you can use other AI tools like Copilot, check out this video that I made giving you more information about PowerPoint and Microsoft, and if Copilot is worth it. And with that, I will see you on the next one.